Good evening, Ken the Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for March 23rd, 2023. We'll start with the swing portfolio review. Alcoa initiated, this is all on 30-minute bars, initiated the short in Alcoa, standard risk box on the PSAR flip and breaking below the collapsing dragon here. And we're holding this position overnight with about an R in hand. Caterpillar, we initiated the short yesterday, experienced the strong move down at the end of the day. Today it got back to neutral and then started collapsing again. So I felt like after two runs at it, I was happy to take that one with about a 3R. No overnight risk. Cliff initiated the short yesterday. Same thing, got back to neutral and then closed weekly, but we cashed the win at the edge of the dragon for about 1, 2, 3R. CVS, we added a second position on the short when fall turned to winter on the intraday move. Strongly considered a third position here that was available as an intraday trade too, but we're holding two with a very weakly closing position here, and that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6R in the first position, about 3R in the second one. So that could be another big winner tomorrow. No trade in diamonds. Devon Energy was yesterday short. We closed at the edge of the dragon today for about 4R. Electronic Arts was a intraday gain after a morning hook. PSAR flip. Caught a 2 entry. Tight risk. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our gift to the edge of the dragon and no overnight risk. I like that one. Emerging markets just stalking. Ethereum just stalking. This one was an amazing move on the 3-minute bar. Mexico stalking. Brazil. This was the little one-day pop that we took yesterday. Today it opened up and started collapsing right away. So we got the standard risk for the first entry. When the shelf broke, added a second entry and cashed everything at the edge of the dragon on a 1, 2, 3 exit for 1, 2, 3, 4 on the first one, 2 on the second one, about a 6R intraday trade altogether. Intel, no trade, sideways, choppy, quiet channel. IP, this is, I should have gotten a second position in here today on the collapsing dragon, but we're holding a 2-day short with about 1, 2, 3R in hand. If that breaks below the 10-day low and 30-day low here at about 33.50, I'll add a second position. At the first sign of strength, I will exit, however. IYR was short initiated yesterday near the close. That continued to collapse today. There was a second entry opportunity in here in a couple spots, but we're happy just to be holding about 4R over the overnight. KRE, we started the short yesterday, added one at the opening, closed poorly. We're holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7R on two positions into the close. That's been really weak. Marijuana, intraday short on the collapsing dragon and the R10 rolling over, and that's holding 3R into the close. Clean energy. This one we started the short yesterday. It closed with a great position hand, big gap up. I let this last way too long. It took 1R loss. When it rolled over and left the box again, just re-entered. Then on a revenge trade, picked up 2 to pay for the 1R that was poorly played. Rivian was we started the short yesterday, took the 1R loss on the gap. This is another one I could have gotten out at break even, but I gave it more room and then regretted it later, as is the way. Treasuries, the SSC from 2 days ago, had a nice run up, came all the way back to neutral, so when it closed up a little over 1R, I decided to cash it and take it while I could. Tesla, we just stalked it, nothing going on, although there was a short opportunity in there. And then finally, U.S. Steel. We thought twice about the short yesterday, didn't today. Entered the short on the PSAR flip and are holding 2R going into the close, and that feels pretty good. The sniper trade of the day. So this is this is an opportunity overreaction trade on block, which is symbol SQ, and it was a 20% gap down on bad news, and this big blue box is the OR3. I waited to see the R10 reverse. It crossed back above the dragon, and at the PSAR flip, I had a choice between a very tight MMRB or taking the twice the MMRB. I took the twice MMRB. The MMRB is only 50 cents. This was a buck. So long. Second position at 2R. Third position, and then exiting at the edge of the dragon. So the first position was 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Second one was 1, 2.5. So that's 7, and then a half. So about 7.5. I thought about the short side, but I was content just to take the opportunity on that huge gap. It ended up down about 14%. So the recovery from the gap opening to the close was about 6%, and I feel like we got the sweet spot of that curve. Again, just to find the biggest mover right from the opening and then inspect the chart. In this case, it was setting up for a reversion to the mean trade. We'll look at the traders today, see how they did. Let's see. All right, here's Arch with plus 0.6. Let's see what we've got here. We're looking for his entry. Looks like I can't see where he's. So minus 0.3. So must have gotten long somewhere around in here. And then exited after being positive. He let it come all the way back to the Bollinger Band mean. So we got to get out of that sooner. The re-entry caught a 2, I think was late. We should be right about here instead of here. And then we gave back all of the gains to be a scratch. We can't do that. We've got to manage that. And those dojis are telling you to get out. This is a good short. The exit should have been at the edge of the dragon. This is the Aussie. And this is minus 0.7. Late entry, reasonable exit. I like the short. Covered, but we should be able to re-enter and get short on this. I actually think we saw this one yesterday. Here's Woj with Devon, minus 1 on this short that failed, and then a couple scratches that netted out. Nothing on Tesla, too tight. And that's 2 on NVIDIA, and no trades on U.S. Steel, so it was a net 1 for the day. Here is 9R from Constantine on the Dow on the 3-minute. Z3 breakout and a nice exit, and then the PSAR flip and short for a total of 9R. And then 1.75 on the news breakout after a morning hook, PSAR flip, standard exit. So that's all looking pretty good. All right, let's see what else we got today. All right, so here's Luke on the DAX on the 3 minutes. Quick loss, stop and reverse, potential second entry, great exit for 4. Potential on the long side nets out 2.35. Look at those SSC and COTA 2s all the way up. We want those. Woj nets 7R today with 5.2 on the Euro Aussie with a great Z3 breakout perfect exit on a single position, and then the SSC or the collapsing dragon out of the grind, short, nice cover at the PSAR flip for a total of 7. We can live with that. Yeah. And this is Luke on the UK on the footsie. The short, quick loss, re-entry, covers to get paid, misses the CD, which is just huge. Yeah, this would have been sweet. I think your system rules should allow that. Now a whole series from Peter. Quick scratch, saw the opportunity, didn't take it. Got paid inside this little series on the Kata 2, SSC, and Kata 2s all the way up, and the continuation on the breakup. Oh, and then the collapsing dragon to the downside. Yow! That's on the Dow 30. Mexico, there's the OR3. Gets paid for 1.5 on the misses the PSAR flip, but still gets the second collapsing dragon. There's a second position available. Reasonable exit, 1.5. Quick scratch. We're slow, missing this, missed this. Hit that one for 0.75. A nice re-entry and cover. I would probably have gotten out here and then tried to re-enter there. And then maybe added a second position after the Z3 pinch and then expansion. Nice work through here. Again, if you're willing to hold that, you could think about adding a second position here for 1.5 and 0.5. Nothing wrong with this except needing a re-entry, then a PSAR flip, collapsing dragon, gets this collapsing dragon all the way down to here. For 4R, that could have been the second position. That could have been 8. Measured hit, stays out of the chop. This would have been perfect. That's good enough for a major win for 2.5. Same basic series, just riding the legs. There's a collapsing dragon. There's a PSAR flip. So there was a lot more, even though that's a great trade for 2.75. There's a lot more. A couple quick scratches in a row, and then there's a series of Kata 3s that I think you just got chased out of it because of the initial setbacks. That's sort of normal. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Now some real reasonable shorts, and then missed this one, or finally got this one. Second position available here on the collapsing dragon and here in the collapsing dragon, but still that's enough for 2R to cover the losses in net 1. Quick exit, this covers that. There's the PSAR flip and the collapsing dragon. Second one, SSC, Kata 2, could have been amazing. But total 13.5R for all the symbols all day, even, and that's not even optimized, so that's pretty good work. Let's go to, yeah, I covered that one. Oh, let's, on the market health check, just monkeying around in the middle of the 30-day range and the 10-day range, so this is becoming a sideways choppy. Sideways neutral in the regular market, weakness across the board. Risk Z is warning about downside volatility. Handful of FDD, 5DDs, and auto framers. Breakdown in Brazil, marijuana. The Russell in IYR, big strong move in gold. Plenty of auto framers to choose from. Buyer's market. Standard framing data for end of day traders for the auto framer and for their daily squeezes. I'll let you read those. Plenty of Godzillas that are enraged and plenty that are super quiet. Brazil and marijuana in the Godzilla range for the tactical symbol set. I really like the Brazil short because it went from a pure quiet to a big breakout to the downside, so there's more to come. Standard stats. Strength, Ethereum, Microsoft, and Bitcoin, and Walmart, and Intel. And then in the ETFs, silver, gold, emerging markets, and tech. And then finally, the best intraday traders are a combination of large range percentages and consistency in the frog, and that's Tesla, marijuana, clean energy, Devon Energy, Nvidia, metals, and mining. So that's everything we got. Keep your risk measured and powder dry. Keep the preparations up. You guys are crushing it and learning as you go. So great work, and we will see you tomorrow with your wrist measured and your powder dry.